3, 2, 1.
Cold Draw.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is August 13th, 2015, and this is the 4th episode of the Cold Draw podcast. I am Bob Cooper, and to my right is Matthew Healey.
Yes, I am.
All right, cool. Also in the room today, we have Nick Flanagan. How's it going, buddy?
Excellent, gang. What's going on?
Awesome. Nothing. Whatever. So this is the Cold Draw. If you haven't tuned into us before, we are a cigar-themed podcast. We try to touch on honest cigar reviews, things like news, shenanigans, and general, tobacco culture. So I hope you enjoy the show, and if you don't, then go die. That's that. So this week, anything interesting happened with you guys?
Yeah, no.
That's fantastic. Well, I had a fun thing I did this weekend that most adults can't. They can't share the experience.
It's a PG show.
It is a PG show.
Be careful.
Okay, it's okay. No, it's fun. So I went to a bouncy house party, which sounds like weird, but I have friends who do this every year. They actually rent a bounce house and they set it up in their backyard, and you get a bunch of drunk 20-somethings running around drinking, and then they go on the bounce house and they bounce around. And it was pretty fantastic.
Aren't you a 30-something now?
Yeah, but I was there. I was invited.
He was the oldest one at the party.
I was the oldest one at the party. People don't like me anymore. They tell me to leave. They look at me funny.
That's not true.
Anyway, so that was fun. That was pretty much the only interesting thing that happened to me this week. So,
nice.
It is what it is. Anyway, so this week we're going to just jump right in to our first segment, which is the Bands Off, Dance Off. So this segment, First Timers, is a segment where we take 2 cigars each, so 6 cigars total. We don't know what they are. They have been lovingly selected by our intern, Jaime, and she puts A and B bands on both of them, or on one of each of them, and Jaime's smiling. So we don't know what they are. we A and B bands, blah, blah, blah. We're going to light the first one up. We're going to give it a try and give you our initial impressions. And about halfway through the show, we'll add the second one. We're going to give you our impressions of that. And then by the end, we will pick a winner of the Bands Off, and then we'll find out what they are. So throughout the show, it'll be, you get the drill. It's not that complicated.
We've done this before.
Yeah, it's all good.
No, I did want to mention that usually at this point, we would douchily describe what the cap looks like. However, intern Jaime has pre-cut these for us.
We don't know why. It was really weird. She just said, and now she's standing right there while I'm criticizing her, which I'm fine with.
Just do it.
She just said, yeah, I pre-cut them. And I thought maybe my first thought was, oh, she pre-cut them to hide the fact that one of them comes pre-cut. But I'm looking at these and they're both she just cut them with the cutter.
Bob, I was deeply saddened by that. I wanted to punch mine today.
I know. Well, she took it from us, buddy.
Oh, my God.
These are the type of things we get hit with here on the Cold Draw.
We keep rolling
We roll
with
with the punches.
We roll with the punches. I am happy to say that the cut wasn't good enough, so now I have to cut it again.
Yeah, we do get to recut.
Absolutely. That's the joy of the show.
Look at my wrapper.
The joy of the show is
My wrapper looks
cutting
okay.
our cigars.
So wait, hold on. Are we going to do B or A?
Let's do A.
We're going to go traditional. We're going to go A. I think we should mix it up a little bit.
I already cut A, so we're going.
we'll do it.
Let's go A.
All right, we're going to go A. You guys got to promise next show we got to go B, though. Next show,
all right,
we got to go
next
B.
show, we'll go B. Yeah, it's good. It smells nice. I get some...
It does smell nice. My seam is not that tight on it.
Oh, do you have some seams lifted on it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not terrible, but...
I've got a monster vein in this one.
Do you?
Yeah, it's
Monster vein?
It's pretty gnarly. It's like a regular vein, but it's
just on steroids?
It's on steroids.
Big monster vein.
As we touched on a few weeks ago, steroids should all be legal all the time, and everyone should use them forever.
If you're 18, go out and experiment.
Absolutely.
That's I'm just going to go on record and say
that's what Nick says.
That is not my opinion.
Why not? Go ahead and do it.
Anyway.
I didn't cold draw again. I do
my
this
gosh.
every week.
You're fired.
I didn't touch...
We're going to get a new co-host. This is ridiculous.
Oh, okay. So cold draw, I got a little bit of sweetness, which was nice. And the draw is tighter than I like. So that's a bummer.
My draw seems very tight off the cold draw.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not...
Alarmingly tight.
Alarmingly tight.
Alarmingly.
And
mine's not that tight, but it is a little on the tight side.
Did you catch the sweetness?
I did. Right on my lips.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, a little sweetness. It's pleasant. I actually really like it.
Yes, this draw.
But the draw is a turd. It's not giving me good feelings about this.
This is not.
And the presence of that large vantage and your seam is lifting, all that put together makes it feel like maybe this cigar is not going to be all that great. But it's not fair. It's early yet. Matt's lighting it up. I'm gonna start toasting the foot on this bad Larry.
Let's go.
I'm trying to light it, but this draw is making it awful tough. I'm not.
Maybe you should be a
lot of
foot
smoke.
toaster like Bob.
Well, you know, I can toast foots, but it's not going to fix a draw, buddy.
I like how you pluralize foot by saying foots.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That is what you do.
You know? Why are you on my back?
I'm not on your back.
So, right off the bat, I don't know. I don't get a good enough draw, so I can't really tell you.
You can't even taste it. Is it that bad, really? Do you need to poke it, you think?
I mean,
We have a poker available for poking.
I actually might need the poker, yeah.
Yeah. Jaime, the intern, do you mind grabbing the poker? Jaime's actually Matt's fiance. We just like her to be our intern.
She's the intern.
She's the intern. Her payment was half of Matt's wages forever.
Right.
You know, and for me, that's a great deal.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, so definitely no draw. It doesn't help that I'm drinking Shipyard Pumpkinhead while I do this.
Well, you know, details, buddy.
That was less than brilliant on my part, but...
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, the draw is not there on this.
No,
I
not at
finally
all.
got that foot toasted in.
Can you hear me reaming it on the headphones?
I actually can. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. The
Oh, Matt.
the listener will actually hear that a lot more because I'm sure it will come through with compression and stuff.
Well, I'll tell you.
Can I actually get that reamer? Because mine's a turd.
Well, Bob, I'll tell you on this one. I'm definitely not going to be done with this one by the time we get to our second review because the drawer is definitely difficult on this
Blow
one.
a few
Yeah,
blood
Nick is
vessels
like a
if you-
vacuum cleaner. He tears through cigars like a vacuum cleaner would.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Crazy that all three of us got a bad draw.
I don't have a lot of good
this
comparisons.
This is
today.
really, really.
Uncommon.
Well, we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
that's. I mean, so what we're looking at is not inconsistency; it's just really consistently bad. You know, which is that's one way to do it, I guess. If you're a company who makes cigars and you want to be consistent, I would advise you to be consistently good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the poker did not fix it, but it did get a little bit better.
You ready? You ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
feel
What,
like
what
we're
are we
dragging.
doing? Yeah, we're probably dragging.
I don't want to drag.
Yeah, let's not drag.
Let's not drag.
So the next, so we're gonna come back to these in a little bit, but our next segment today is an exciting one for the first time ever. It's Healey Smash.
Healey.
Felt pretty good all night.
that was awesome.
Brady in on me too. Wow, that was a
Smash it, Healey.
we didn't know that was coming. Well, what I like to smash this week is the movies, and this basically came up. We were trying to come up with segments, and Cooper said, "Well, you know, we should go see movies and talk about it." And I said, "I ain't going to these friggin' movies because
He did say that.
they're god awful." And a couple I like to talk about. You got your comedy. If you want to go see a comedy, don't waste your time and don't waste your money. It's got Vince Vaughn. It's got Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn plays a fast-talking, sarcastic guy who constantly repeats himself, and Owen Wilson plays a laid-back hippie. And then the whole movie, they're talking about this guy, El Chapo, or something like that. And El Chapo turns out, of course, to be Will Ferrell, living in his mom's basement, wearing lingerie, and selling, like, used condoms on the black market to Chang from the friggin' Hangover. And that's every comedy that you get.
That's not every comedy.
Every single
very
one.
specific.
That is very
every
specific, and it's not every comedy.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes,
that was
it
that
is.
one specific movie. That
Which
was that
one?
one. That was that one movie.
Wasn't that a
was
combination of multiple movies? Like I think that was
No.
Wedding Crashers and
No, it was just Wedding. Well, it was Wedding Crashers and Hangover.
yeah, and the Hangover. Chang pops up. He probably
come
throws
on.
two
Show me
comedies
one
together.
movie where Vince Vaughn does
Come
not play
on.
the same character he always plays. Owen Wilson, other than Owen Wilson had a really good one where he like saves the day in some war movie, and the movie was absolutely
Was that
terrible.
Black Hawk Down?
No,
No,
that wasn't. That was
Black Hawk Down.
Behind Enemy
Behind
Lines
Enemy Lines.
with Gene Hackman.
Gotcha.
Oh, that movie
Come
was
on.
god awful.
Man,
That
what
was
are you gonna
god awful too. Oh my god.
Well, I loved it,
What,
but it was
is there
stupid.
a movie? Is there a movie that I know this is Healey Smash, but is there a movie that you liked?
There isn't. No.
Oh,
There's not a single
Not
movie
since
ever.
1980.
Jesus.
Terminator 2 was the last movie that I enjoyed.
Terminator 2?
All right, now you want to take your girl out? You guys want to go out? Do
Yeah.
a little romantic movies?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, here you go, all right? It stars Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann, okay? Paul Rudd plays the intelligent yet socially clueless nice guy who unintentionally neglects his wife. He mostly just hangs
my
around with his moronic friends all day, who's probably Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill and some washed-up SNL cast member.
Here we
and
go.
he just says things like, yeah, I gotta go. And that's pretty much his only line in the whole movie. All the while, Leslie Mann is too old to do young girl stuff, but too young to do old girl stuff, and she spends all of her time with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, and probably that girl from King of Queens, with Leah Remini.
Leah
Remini.
Yeah.
And then
She
they
doesn't
hang out.
do anything now.
She doesn't.
No, because well, she does these movies. If you
she's
if you
on
go to the
a
movies,
reality show now about her family.
Anyway, we're sidetracked.
Okay,
Boring.
sorry.
Boring.
Boring.
So anyway,
Boring.
they hook up with Kate Upton, and she doesn't understand menopause and saggy boobs, so they all get jealous.
Oh my god.
But in the end, Leslie Mann realizes that it's okay to get old, and Paul Rudd realizes that it's okay to grow up. And that is every damn romantic comedy that you go to see, and I'm tired of it.
Jesus.
I guess, but here's the thing with that is I really like that movie. I like all of that movie.
Well, I mean, if you like it, keep going and spending your money. You know, that's why
Like,
Hollywood keeps putting them
You
out.
just described so many movies that I like. I Love You, Man. I love that movie.
That's what it all is.
Anchorman. I love that movie.
Oh, Anchorman.
God. Hangover 1, 2, and 3.
Hangover 1
I didn't
wasn't
see
bad.
the latter Hangovers.
I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Oh, God.
Hangover 2 is just, it was stupid.
Come on.
It was way overdone.
Come on. In Bangkok? Come on.
They had the trainee D hanging out. That was not kosher.
No, but it was funny as hell.
That's how you know you have a bad storyline when you got to save it. So let's see if I got any more movies I'd like to talk about.
Please do.
I know.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
How about we get some barely known jack guy who comes into contact with a government radiation and develops superpowers, and now it's gotten so lame that they actually have to do these people in groups. Now, we humans, we know they exist, but we hate them, until, of course, a supervillain from out of space shows up and they save us. Now we love them. There's a ceremony at the White House, and then at the end they're shown doing something mundane like getting a parking ticket or going to breakfast or, you know, taking out the trash or something and some water spills on them. It's ridiculous.
You're describing the best movies ever. Our friendship is at risk right now.
I mean, it's everything Marvel or Ex Machina, where we, you know, question what it means to be human again, or
Yeah, that would
we
be
could, you know, all worry about nuclear war, but oh, twist. A microscopic organism threatens the human race. How clever!
This is crazy, dude.
They suck.
Dude, we definitely need to get you to the doctor
Movies-
and get you some meds, man. This
Movies
is
are
insane.
garbage.
This is
They're
insane.
garbage.
Oh, my God.
Defend these movies to me.
Defend the
them.
movies. They're all good movies.
I just described a bunch of really great movies.
You just they killed at the box office too when they were in there. How could you smash those movies?
You know what the problem is that the rest of America isn't as smart as Healey.
That is the problem with the world, and I've noticed that, and I'm glad finally that other people are starting to see it.
Yeah, that's what we're starting to see.
Because I've been, you know, alone for all these years.
Yeah, you're still alone. So that was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Well said. Do you have anything else to add?
That was intense.
Don't go to the movies. Basically, you know, read a book or smoke a cigar or have a beer. Do something productive, but don't go to the movies.
I love that you listed among the things that are productive, smoke a cigar and have a beer. That's fantastic.
That's
And
very
leads us
productive.
right into our next segment, That's So Lowbrow.
They're just losers.
So, and the genesis of this show, when we were thinking of potential segments and so forth, we came up with the idea of That's So Lowbrow, and we didn't know what it would be. We just knew, this is going to be a segment where we talk about stuff that's lowbrow. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about stuff that we do that is remarkably lowbrow, and Nicholas Flanagan is going to kick us off.
Do I have to?
You do. You have to do it.
All right. Well, I guess I'm guilty of buying my fiance flowers from Walmart. I know that's pretty low for some guys out there. I know a lot of guys out there that they're like, oh no, well, I gotta go to Winston Flowers in Boston, or I gotta go to this florist to get the best. I go to Walmart. I'm sorry. You know
want
what I
some
mean?
sweatshop flowers
Yeah.
that some poor Asian man assembled in China for.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm not sure that's all Walmart flowers.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't think so.
I don't have any evidence.
They
to back
do-
that up.
they-
Nobody has
I
evidence.
mean, I don't want to get into a
but
Walmart rant, but
It's yeah, I know.
I
But
can
yes,
smash Walmart in another
Yeah,
segment.
we'll do
Yes.
that. We'll do Walmart smash. That'll be great.
That'll be the next thing. But
So,
yes,
does
for
your
me,
girlfriend know the origin of these flowers?
she does, and she always says that the little things count for her. So whether it's a big bouquet that I spend a ton of money on to the $15 dozen of roses that I get her at Walmart. It doesn't matter as long as I'm getting her something. So yes, that's the one thing that I do that's like that, but she's okay with.
Yeah, the one thing.
Everything else that has to be over the top. Everything else has to be over the top. So from the shoes to the clothing to the cars, the car accessories and stuff like
You
that.
do a lot of really highbrow stuff, and that's funny. And so mine has sort of to do with that. I have a lot of douchey highbrow things, from my cigar lighter to the rifles that I have in my gun safe, and that's funny. So what's lowbrow about all that is that my couch I got for free because their mom was gonna throw it out from their basement, and this had been sitting there for 10 years. So I just went ahead and took that. My office, up until 2 months ago, now I've been living in this place for 3 years. My office didn't have
So you're just getting settled.
any furniture in it. I don't have anything on the walls in my place. It's entirely bare. Basically, like, I live in the apartment of like a 21-year-old who just got out of college, and I'm 30, almost 32, and I'm pretty well established in my career. So, but yeah, the thing is, I'm not actually broke. I do fine. I just
You spend it all in climbing gear.
I spend it on climbing gear and guns.
And guns, yes. Your gun is worth what, like $3,500?
Oh, in that area, yeah. But I don't have a couch.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful gun. It's
It's a beautiful
so
gun.
nice.
And I sit on my terrible free couch and I clean my gun.
That's
Yeah.
all right, though.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Healy, what about you,
You
buddy?
got a nice humidor.
Yeah,
I do. Really nice humidor.
You got your
but,
priorities straight.
Yeah.
You want to go on to me?
oh, it's going to you, buddy.
Go, Matt,
Because
go.
this segment is tanking.
I mean, well, how long is the show? Because I do a lot of lowbrow
So
things.
far, it's 18 minutes long.
18 minutes. All right, I'll pick one. So let's go over like last Tuesday night. So me and Jaime and a friend of mine, we went out for some beverages. We were having a big celebration. I forget what we were celebrating. So my friend, we all took one car, and Jaime was our designated driver, and my friend disappears for like 2.5 hours, and I have no idea where he went. I thought he went home, even though we all took one car. So me and Jaime continue to hang out, and I'm imbibing myself while she's drinking waters, of course. So we go to get a ride home, and suddenly I'm dropping my friend off while she is, and I'm in the back seat. And I just remember, like, my friend turns around, is like, Healy's getting naked. And my girlfriend just like, damn it, and no one was even surprised by this, but I'm just taking my clothes off in the back of the car.
Nobody would
So
be
I thought that
surprised
was-
about that. Nobody,
I thought that was
Nobody that
kind of
knows you.
lowbrow.
That's pretty lowbrow.
nobody that knows you would be surprised by
Yeah,
that.
it was, it's kind of run of the mill, really. I can't get into the real lowbrow stuff, but I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Well, there it is, and that's so lowbrow. Segment we probably won't ever do again because it didn't really work that well. So we're gonna move on to our bands off, dance off update, and this is still we're only like we're 20 minutes in, and this is. I'm like half an inch into the cigar because the draw is so tight.
Yeah, me too. This is an unenjoyable cigar. The flavor I'm getting for it is okay.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
It is okay, but it's like I can't get a good hit off it because it's so tight.
I find it to be a little stale in the flavor.
You think stale?
I mean, I'm getting notes of pumpkin, but I think that might be a pumpkin head beer.
Think so.
But but I'm getting a staleness that I think is, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan so far. I mean, I'm still early because you can't draw it. So it takes a long time to smoke.
Yeah, it does. So I think I'm just gonna put it down for a minute, and I'm gonna get into B.
Oh yeah, I forgot B.
Yeah, we got B. We got a bands off, dance off. They're dancing
That
off.
is correct. I heard the
of
trumpets
each other.
play, so you know it's a band's off.
You know, it's a bands off.
All right.
Look at the foot in my face. I would say that the foot on this isn't as pungent as on the first one for me.
No, it's quite pleasant.
But I meant that as a bad thing. I like pungent feet.
Yeah, this has like almost no aroma.
Yeah, not as strong. It's there still. I mean, there's something, but it's not as
The
much.
wrapper is very veiny.
Yeah, which also not a good thing. Well, actually, my wrapper is fairly smooth. I would say construction is decent on this one. The cap is pretty well put on. So
Yeah,
this specific sample of it's pretty decent. Feels well filled, all that. The cut on it, again, is less than...
Oh, that was a Jaime.
Yeah, it's a Jaime cut. She's wonderful at other things. Cutting cigars.
I'm good at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
she
course
says,
you are.
I'm good at it. And we say, we have evidence to the contrary.
By the end of this, you guys
Jaime, I told you, when you smoke a cigar, you try to be cool.
That was pretty good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was pretty good. I mean, just to compare,
When you smoke a cigar, I told you, you try to be cool.
That's it.
pretty close.
So
Pretty
should
not
we
bad.
cold draw these?
Oh, I already cold drawed. It was
Ooh,
underwhelming.
Cold drew.
Oh, crap!
Yeah.
Foiled again!
Grammar police.
I didn't get much.
Whoa, I'm getting a lot.
You are?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I am. Yeah.
You sure we're smoking the same cigar?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
pontificate, sir.
Yeah, anything? What do you got? Because I got nothing.
I'm getting notes of.
Oh,
Hold on, let me
gosh. If
pin-
you say Asian cinnamon, I'm going to throw you out the
Let me
window.
pinpoint.
Yes.
No. I think it's
Beat you with an ashtray.
Filipino cinnamon.
Oh, all right. Then I won't.
I think it's
won't.
cinnamon from the Philippines.
Oh, he's being intentionally douchey.
No, but I'm getting a lot of flavor. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm getting a lot of flavor.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
That's-
I can't agree with you there. I
It's a
cannot.
common thread in our reviews is,
I
there's
cannot
good flavor.
concur.
I don't know what the hell it is,
Yeah,
but it's
well,
really good.
I mean,
or
we'll see.
really
do
bad.
you want me to make some stuff up? I mean, I could
Go
do
ahead.
that.
Go
know.
ahead.
You know, knowing that it's made up, this could be entertaining. So yeah, do that. We got time to fill.
Wow, I was kind of bluffing here. You guys are calling me out. I'm getting it's a lot of oak. I'm getting a lot of oak.
Oak.
I'm getting a lot of like glacial snowflake type.
I got some alligator tail in there.
You got alligator tail?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I don't know if I'm picking up on that.
No.
No, it's a little. It's
What
a
about
little.
mammoth tusk?
It
I
might be
think there's-
lizard. It could be lizard.
Could be.
tail.
All right. Yeah. So it's smaller, because it wasn't as strong as an alligator tail.
No, it's a mini alligator, which would be kind of like a lizard or a monitor, maybe.
A monitor. Yes.
A
there
monitor.
it is. You finally you pinned it down. We can put this on our blog.
That's what I'm here for.
That's
Perfect.
nonsense.
All right. I've toasted the foot. I'm gonna give it a puff and see how it lands.
All right, I
we
haven't
go.
even started lighting yet, so you boys got to jump in here.
Oh, well, it's a lot easier to draw.
It's a much better draw.
That's
Oh
pleasant.
wow! You know what I just got?
What'd you get?
A touch of brown sugar.
Whoa. Brown sugar.
That was very specific.
Cold draw.
Yeah, dude, that's what's up. You know I hit the douchey. You know I hit the douchey voice.
Cold draw.
Like that.
So, what do we?
Oh, so
what
far
do we
it's pretty
think
good
right off the
actually.
bat?
I think that the draw is much better.
Draw is 1,000.
It's
billion
got a
times
touch of
better.
sweetness again. But actually, so the other one had a touch of sweetness in the cold draw, but I didn't get it when I was smoking.
Yeah.
This one, I get it in the smoke itself. But I would
Ooh.
say not
Ooh.
in a way that's even reminiscent of a flavored cigar, but in those
Yeah.
the notes that you'd get now.
I'm saying early on,
Real
B's
cigar.
my jam.
Yeah, no, it's better, right?
I'm liking
Oh,
this stick.
yeah.
Much better.
I'm liking it, which means it's probably a rolly.
I was going to say that.
If we get double rollied, man,
No.
rolly rolled,
It wouldn't
it's
surprise
really
me.
upsetting me. Excellent. All right, so what do we got next? What are we
Well,
doing?
up next is the round table, sir.
We're knights of the round table, we dance when we're able.
Felt pretty good all night.
Today on the round table, we're going to be talking about what's in the news. We've seen a few things come up that we sort of touched on in previous episodes.
We did.
And they became suddenly very poignant again, and we thought it wouldn't be such a bad idea.
The cold draw is on the cutting edge of societal evolution.
We're on the bleeding edge.
Absolutely.
Which is like the
Right.
cutting
We're in
edge,
the vein.
but it's
We're
even
in the vein.
Yes, in the vein, in the capillaries. Anyway,
We are the red blood cells of this.
The heartbeat of America.
yeah,
Yes, we are.
We're the heartbeat of America. All right, we've taken that stupid metaphor as far as we can take it.
Yep.
So this
done.
week, kind of touching on what we covered last week, which is the way that women are treated. This week, Donald Trump made a comment that was perceived as fairly douchey. Now, we at the Cold Draw, we love douchiness. That's why we are, the Cold Draw
This is
podcast.
the wrong kind of douchey, man.
It was the wrong kind of douchey. So, for those of you who didn't see, he had, at the Republican debate, he was being questioned by I forget her last name.
Megyn Kelly from
Yeah,
Fox
Megyn
News.
Kelly from Fox News. And she came at him with a few questions he didn't like, and he was ill-prepared. And then later on in a phone interview with, I think it was whoever, doesn't matter, he kind of tore her apart, and he was saying some really hateful things, and I actually have the clip
Ooh,
here.
you got the clip for it.
Yeah, so
All right, here we go, play that
he said a bunch of stuff, but the most important thing was this.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
So now, we were sitting here in the shop when all of this was going down and being talked about, and what I heard first was the text that you could see that there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever, and I thought, all right, well, maybe that was just an idiosyncrasy of speech. You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of there, whatever, and he would move on. But upon hearing it a few times, it became pretty clear that he meant what he said.
He meant what he said.
I'm gonna have to be on the other side of the fence with that one for you boys.
All right, well, tell us what you think, because to break it down, it seems like he's clearly implying that she's on her period, and that's why she's being a grump to him.
Well, he didn't say that. He just said that blood was coming out of her eyes and blood coming out of him anywhere. It could be. It could be like you said. It was just kind of like a brain filler,
Like her foot, or where else?
Or it
are
could
we
have been out of her
talking?
ears. It could have been coming out of her ears. I don't know. But you
Is
know
that
what I
a
mean?
thing? No.
It's not a.
Nick.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not a thing. But it could be
Nick.
just what he needed to say, just to get another thing to say whatever in the interview.
Nick's opinion is not a popular one.
No, it's
But
never a
here's-
popular one. It's
But
never a
here's-
popular one. But
I do think
I
that-
like the guy. He's everybody goes and picks on Trump about his views are different, and no, man,
He gets ratings.
I get big crowds. I get ratings.
that's it. He gets ratings.
Before that comment, I liked Trump, but that comment, I know what it was, and I think it's.
He
disgusting.
said so much stuff that was ridiculous that comment was more of the same for me. But here's the thing: is I think that I don't necessarily agree with Nick's point or Nick's position on Trump, but I think that it's important to when you hear things like this, not to immediately jump to the emotional reaction, which is I think what a lot of people did, and that is, he said a thing that's offensive to me, and this. And Nick's saying, did he really mean that? Because it's subtextual. I think we can all agree that he didn't explicitly say anything. It was subtextual. Now, I think it was pretty clear.
It wasn't very presidential.
It wasn't. And if we're talking about the bigger scheme of things, of whether or not this man should be our president, the idea is laughable to me that this guy should be our president. Being a president is much more than being able to run a company and make money. It's about representing a country, and he's not capable of that, plainly in my eyes.
And like everybody else is.
Oh, I'm not saying that there are a lot of really stand-up people in politics, but I think that he is particularly not stand-up. He is a kind of a douche.
You never know until he gets in that seat.
I don't want him in that seat.
I want him in the seat.
You want him in the seat.
Trump, go all the way.
I can't believe it.
All right.
Also, this week, there was some more to do in Ferguson. What do you guys think about what was going on with that?
I think it's absolutely horrendous. They shouldn't be doing that. They're supposed to be mourning his death, and they're all protesting and again looting. And I think it's just another date to find an excuse to rebel.
Steal stuff.
Yeah, to steal, rebel, and it's just outrageous. It shouldn't happen. It should be a calm protest, and I'm all about protests. I'm all about getting your word out there so people can hear you. But what they're doing is not that.
No, they're definitely not. I would say, in my opinion, they had a trial. The cop didn't walk on it. The Obama administration was pretty involved in that. I remember who was his guy there? Do you remember the guy?
I don't remember.
Anyway, he's a big guy for the administration.
This is good radio.
Yeah, it is. Well, I was going to let you guys do most of this, but that's okay.
Wasn't it like the Attorney General, something like that came
Yeah,
down?
it's somebody like that. I can't.
That was like the government got involved, right?
We'll just say it all.
Yeah.
So,
But we're not going to because I do the editing,
so will we.
and it's funny.
Anyway, they went into the trial like quite a bit. The evidence, I mean, the cop was innocent by the evidence, and there's just no
So
reason to
there wasn't the
this.
preponderance of evidence to prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, I don't know what they're.
So
I don't know what they're protesting. In my opinion,
we've got our friend Alex in the studio right now. And by the studio, I mean the cigar shop. He's wearing a Free Brady T-shirt and thought it was appropriate to stand up and display that at this moment.
He's got a free
while
Brady.
we're talking about this very sensitive subject. So
He's got a free Brady.
Thanks, Alex. You're the best. So another interesting thing with Ferguson is the Oath Keepers that showed up. So the Oath Keepers are these guys who are a little bit of a militia, I guess. They're retired first responders, military, and police officers, and they showed up and they were there to sort of protect the local businesses and make sure that there was no violence against any of the protesters or anything like that. They were ready to take up arms to keep peace, and that's what they said they were there to do. And they themselves posted pictures of them with certain business owners that were very grateful that they were there, but they were blown up in the media as guys who were acting as vigilantes or stirring up things or this or that. And I didn't think that the way that they were portrayed was right. Now, this is totally biased as a guy who is very pro-gun and thinks that people should be able to do what they want unhindered as long as they're not causing any damage. They were out there to do good things, and just because they had weapons doesn't mean that they were up to bad things. And that's, I think, an important point that people miss. What do you guys think?
That's true, but I think on my end, even though I love where you're coming from, but I think doing that would, in a situation where a simple protest turned into almost a full-on riot, and they actually did go into state of emergency, I think something like that they shouldn't have done, because I feel that it would have bring more fuel to the fire. The police would have seen them as possible threats, and then the police would have been like, okay, well, now we got to watch the protesters, which 2 teens were shot. Just to add on that, 2 teens were shot, and one of them was running around with a gun shooting at police. I think they shouldn't have done that. With the history of the protest and what happened before, when the police officer was claimed not guilty in the trial, I think that they should have known better and been like, okay, well, if they wanted to go out there and try to help protect, they should have did it another way. That for me would have been like, okay, well, that's, as a police officer's standpoint, that's putting the police officer in another place where they shouldn't be. They have enough to worry about with the protesters, and now they got to worry about guys running around with full tack gear.
Yeah,
and
see,
AR-15s.
I completely disagree, man, because these guys are out there to do no harm. They're out there to help. They're out there to try and make sure that no one gets hurt. They're doing the same thing that police are doing, but they aren't feared like the police are. I mean, the thing is, the civilians there, they have a huge problem with police. So, maybe they don't have a huge problem with these other guys that are there. And there are pictures of shop owners who were happy with them. They're happy that they were there protecting them. And their perception was that they're protecting them from the police. And really, they were there probably just to make sure that people weren't shooting each other. What do you think, Matt?
Oh, buddy, I'm going Nick on this one. I am actually as freedom loving as I am, and I love my damn freedom.
You do.
It gets to be a very dangerous situation when you've got citizens walking around, with just their guns out, ready to protect stuff. They're not. Some of them might be trained, but you're going to get a lot of people that aren't properly trained. And
again, these are retired military, police officers, and first responders.
All right, well, that's good. But still, if you're not, you can't take the law into your own hands, and they got no business, protecting things.
So to break that down,
I mean, if they want to protect your own home,
the laws governing. No, I mean, so we're talking about the law here. The laws governing the use of deadly force. I mean, as in a general, broad, like federal level sense, it is legal to use deadly force to protect your life, like if deadly force is being used against you, or to stop a felony being forcibly committed. So basically, with a few rare exceptions, it's okay for a civilian to use force legally, and basically the exact same cases that it's okay for a police officer to use force. So as a civilian, if you're out in the streets and you see a felony being forcibly committed, so guys breaking into a store to steal some valuable things, or some people like beating someone to death, is absolutely legal and reasonable to use force to stop that.
I just see it causing a lot more problems than it'll solve. I mean, some merchandise getting stolen. It is terrible what happens to those businesses. It's awful. They have, or at least certainly should have, insurance to cover things like that. And I'm not saying it's not a big problem, but to shoot people over it, I don't know. I don't like the idea.
No one was shot over it. So things like this are meant to be a deterrent.
No,
they're not there to shoot people. Just like the cops aren't there to shoot people. That's not their job.
I only see it. It's not worth it. I mean, if in the best case scenario, it's mediocre, and in the worst case scenario, I mean, it's a nightmare.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not saying that I would line up to join these guys, but what I'm saying is that I don't think that it's such a big deal that people made it out to be. I mean, I guess we'll just agree to part ways on that. No, it does lead into another thing that that I saw today, and I guess this sort of pseudo news, and that is Kim Kardashian's Twitter feed. There's a dude down in Texas who, very sadly, he broke into his ex-wife's house and like tied up his ex-wife and her kids, and he shot them all, and it was a terrible thing. Now, Kim Kardashian. If you guys don't know who Kim Kardashian is, then good for you. She tweeted.
She's a legal expert, right?
Yeah, no, she's a very well respected legal
amateur legal person.
Yeah, no, she's the best.
Yeah,
she's really
journalism.
She's known for being really super smart. She tweeted.
Oh, she's wicked smart.
He purchased, and I quote, he purchased the gun and ammo online. How is it so easy to purchase guns online? Does this not sicken you? No background checks required. Now, dear listener, here's the problem with this bullshit. This was retweeted, like, when I had seen someone that I follow on Facebook, Colion Noir, he's like a commenter on gun rights and things like that. He reposted this as an image, and it had shown that it had been retweeted like 3,922 times.
It's probably her
like
legal
that.
team.
Yeah, maybe they're all
paralegals.
They're all retweeting it for her. It had been retweeted by thousands of people who all were like, "Oh yeah, Kim, super great." And this is how much misinformation and misunderstanding is out there regarding the law and things regarding firearms. It is 100% legal to buy guns online. However, when you purchase a firearm online, you cannot have it shipped to your home. It has to get shipped to a federally licensed dealer. That dealer, upon receiving that firearm, when you come to pick it up, they have to run a federal background check or state background check depending on the firearm. But a background check is always performed. So Kim Kardashian is wrong. It's stupid. And all these people who are blindly retweeting her stuff are just like worsening it. People need to understand these things before they throw their hatred around randomly.
Well, Bob, you should never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
No, that's absolutely true.
That's the first rule of journalism that you learn at the Kim Kardashian School of Amateur Journalism.
That's fantastic.
I won't tell you the second thing you learn.
What do you? No, please tell us.
Maybe Ray J can help with that.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh, that is so lowbrow.
Oh yes. All right.
Okay. Well, that's
Makes
Kim
up for the
Kardashian, and Ray J.
I think they're both fantastic. You're gonna keep burning me with that one.
I'm gonna keep burning you with that. That's great.
Holy balls.
That's such good radio right there.
Okay.
Can't beat that.
So you know what? We're just gonna move on right now, and we're going to get into Cigar 101.
You are in class right now.
So, Cigar 101 this week, we're going to talk about cigar shapes and sizes. Now, this is a really big topic. There's about a bazillion of each shapes and sizes, but there are a couple things that you need to know. One is that cigar sizes are usually displayed in length and width. So you'll see common parlance for cigar size would be like, oh, Healey, give me a 6x60. And that would mean 6 inches by 64ths of an inch. So the first number length is always given in inches.
Which is called a ring gauge.
Yeah, and the second, the size, the width of the cigar is a ring gauge. A ring gauge is given in 64ths of an inch. Now, that's boring, and now you know. So we can move on. Box press cigars are, as you see them, they are like pressed into a box. They start out round like all the other cigars, and they're physically like smushed into a box, and that gives them their like box shape. Now, how would a boxed pressed cigars get their ring gauge? Oh, see, here's the question. Now, I looked into this, and there are sort of differing accounts on this. Some people say that a box pressed cigar will get its ring gauge value from its ring gauge before it was box pressed. Some people say otherwise. Now, I actually did a little hands-on research myself, and I had, this is pretty nerdy, but I went and got a few box press cigars from the humidor, and I took my calipers to them to measure. Yeah, no, for serious. And my results were mixed. So one of them, the ring gauge looked as though it had, it was the value before it was box pressed, and the other one, the ring gauge was like straight on 50 ring gauge from like corner to corner. So it probably just depends on the manufacturer and what they do. But I would say if you see a box pressed cigar and it's 50 ring gauge, it kind of gives you a general sense of like the mass of tobacco you're getting.
Well, I feel like, if we weigh in here on the cold draw, doesn't it become law?
It does. So from now on,
from henceforth,
the cigar industry must rate their box press cigars as corner to corner length, and
Nice.
and so it shall be forever. So
Here.
now, when we get into cigar shapes, there are two broad types of cigar shapes. There's the Parejo and the Figurado. So the Parejo is a cigar with a straight side. This is the most common type of cigar you'll see. So it's just basically a tube, right? There's not a whole lot of...
It's cylindrical in
Yeah,
nature.
cylindrical in nature. The other type is a Figurado. Figurados come in a variety of types, and we'll get to that in a second. So the Parejo, you're going to get like a variety of sizes. Some of the most common ones are the Corona, Robusto, Toro, Churchill, Panatela, and Lancero. So those kind of go from smaller to larger. Corona, I've heard said is like the size all those sizes are judged by. They're usually like 4.5 inches, 38 ring gauge to 44 ring gauge.
Yeah, there's definitely
like
a
that.
range because you see all different.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's one of the things to keep in mind is that not everyone's Churchill is the same. A lot of I've seen Robustos that were other people's Toros. It's
You get double Robustos.
Yeah,
triple Toros.
exactly. So there's a lot of variants from manufacturers, and as you see, we'll get into Figurados. Things have changed over time. So things to keep in mind: basically, Corona's small, Robusto's small and fat, Toro's getting a little longer and fat. Churchill is the big long cigar. That's what the big size of most blends is going to be the Churchill size. Panatela is not commonly used nowadays. Usually we refer to those cigars as Lanceros, and those are long, thin cigars. So you're looking at probably 6 to 7 inches and real small, like 35, 38 ring gauge in that area, right?
Nice.
No, Panatela is that. Lancero is actually a term. I think it was originally the Cohiba Lancero was a Panatela, but that Lancero term got applied to a bunch of other cigars. It gets boring. We'll move on. Figurado is a broad designation for cigars that aren't simply aren't straight walled. These are somewhat less common, but we'll still see them pretty often. The most common is the pyramid or torpedo. So a pyramid is a cigar that has an open foot. It's straight walled, but it tapers to a point, and then you cut the point off, and it channels the smoke down into your tongue. We talked about these a little bit.
It's like a cone.
Yeah, it's like a cone.
It's a cone of flavor.
It's cone of flavor. A really good example of this is the Monte Cristo No. 2. It's like a really classic cigar. So the problem with problem with pyramids is that they're often confused with torpedoes. So a torpedo is similar to a pyramid, but historically it has a bulge in the middle. Now, a lot of the time nowadays, what you buy as a torpedo is actually a pyramid. It's very rare nowadays to find a true torpedo. Torpedoes aren't straight walled, but the ones you buy in the store, they are. So this is one of those things where, like, does common parlance decide the definition of a word? I don't know, whatever.
I think it goes to the cold draw.
Yeah, it goes to the cold draw. So I decide from now on that torpedoes and pyramids are the same freaking thing. Whatever, who cares?
It makes sense.
Yeah, no, Bellicoso is like basically a shorter pyramid. Then you have your Perfecto. Perfecto's cool. I like these cigars. They're tapered at both ends, bulge in the middle. These look like the classic cartoon cigar. They're awesome. Classic cartoon cigar where it's like
a fat cat smoke.
Yeah, exactly. The fat cat smoke. I love these things. Now, Perfecto, again, we have a problem of like modern cigars versus historical. Take two. Modern cigars versus historical cigars. Historically, Perfecto had a rounded head. Almost all of the Perfectos you buy in a store nowadays have a pointed head. The only exception that I can see that's like commonly available would be the Davidoff short Perfecto, and that has like a rounded cap. That's a true Perfecto.
It's a nice Perfecto.
Yeah, it's a good one. Those are good cigars. Now, the last major one that I'll touch on is a really neat one that I've actually never even seen in person. That is the Culebra. Nick loves these.
Never seen a Culebra?
No, I've never seen one in person.
You never seen one in person?
No, I've been to a lot of cigar shops. I've been around.
They look like a magical like fairy tree.
I mean, I know what I've seen them, but I've never held one. I've never
like it
seen
would
one
have
in
willows
person.
coming out and fairies would be flying.
I want to smoke a magic fairy tree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm gonna edit that out.
We're gonna have to get some.
I know a guy.
I know a guy that can get some.
Okay.
Some Culebras.
Well, I'm gonna have to leverage him. So a Culebra, what it is? Oh, sorry, Culebra. What it is? It's. I wrote in my notes, barely worth mentioning, because we don't see them anywhere. But it's basically 3 loosely filled panatelas, and they're braided together. So if you can imagine, if you've never seen these before, which if you're listening to this, you have Google on your phone, check it out. But they're loosely filled so they can be bent, and then they braid them together, and then they just braid them together and they tie them with ribbons together, but also sometimes they'll actually cap the end so that you see 3 cigars, but they all share sort of one smoking end. And now, classically, they were taken apart and then smoked individually, but it became sort of a neat thing to clip the cap of all 3 and then smoke them all at once. Yes. Super douchey, whatever. So that's the Culebra. It's pretty cool. What do you like? What's your favorite size?
My favorite size, Lancero.
Yeah, me too. It's the douche size. I love it. What about you, Nick?
Any size. Any size.
Well, thanks for bringing nothing to the table there.
Oh, thank you. But
could you be a little more broad?
All right. I guess it's gonna have to be the Robusto.
The Robusto?
Yep. Robusto.
I believe it's called a Robusto.
Robusto.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced that.
Cold draw.
Yeah, you're gonna hit me with the cold draw. It's gonna be the Robusto. That's
right.
gonna be probably my favorite right there.
Yeah, no, that's a great
classic.
one. So that's that for Cigar 101, really. We're going to move on ahead to the classic, the much revered, the well-loved
Revered is strong.
Healey's Conspiracy Minute. We have a new theme. Ready? Here we go.
This is Central Control. Stand by.
To be clear, I didn't get rights for the X-Files theme. I just decided I didn't care. Go ahead.
Nice. Well, this week, I was hesitant because I don't want to overdo it with the aliens. I know we did aliens last week.
I don't think you can overdo it with the aliens.
Well, last week we talked about the reptilians and how evil they are. And
Douches.
as any responsible citizen knows, there are actually more than 80 known alien races, and the reptilians are not the only evil ones.
Duh.
So what I really wanted to get into was the Greys.
Oh, the Greys.
The Greys,
they're pretty
everyone
evil.
knows the Greys.
Yeah.
Everybody knows them.
Some people think the Greys are humans from the future, which is, of course, ridiculous because time travel's not possible.
Oh my gosh.
Those people, I don't know about them. The Greys actually come from the Zeta Reticuli.
Duh.
They're also known as the Zetas. And these are some bad mother effers. Let me tell you that much right now.
I thought some of them were good.
Yeah,
Greys,
I thought they were
no,
sort of
no,
neutral.
no,
No.
no.
A lot of ancient aliens and stuff like that. And
no.
We should just defer
No.
to Healey's expertise on this.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
the,
okay,
the,
I'm sorry.
the Anunnaki are good.
Oh,
They're not the
okay,
Greys.
okay.
They're
Yeah, that's
completely
the
different from
ones
the
I was
Greys.
talking about.
Perhaps that's what we got confused.
The Greys
Yes,
are the
very
ones that are
confusing.
responsible for most of these abductions. They actually, most famously, they abducted Betty and Barney Hill from here in New Hampshire
Yes.
back in the 1950s.
I
And
heard of
that's
this.
a very famous cases. A lot of really good evidence and facts on that. So Betty and Barney Hill, if you're at all interested in aliens, definitely check that out.
Now, is this Benny Hill, like Benny Hill?
No, Barney Hill.
Oh, okay. Benny and Barney Hill.
Yes, Betty and Barney.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betty and Barney Hill. I thought you said were saying like Benny Hill, like the.
No.
Okay.
No,
Anyway,
we weren't doing that at all. No.
All right, moving right along.
So, the Greys abduct humans for basically two reasons. One is for the reproductive experiments that they do, as they are creating human Zeta hybrids. They have a whole program for this, and we're not really sure why they're doing it yet. My guess is so that they can eventually take over planet Earth, and they probably need some features of us in order to survive in this environment. But we don't know why they're doing it, but human Zeta hybridization, it's definitely happening. The other reason that they abduct people is for food. They actually survive by rubbing a liquid protein solution on their bodies, and it's made from human or animal vital fluids.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, well, that's
factual.
That's where you get the cows, the cow mutilations, and the chickens, and all that other stuff. Now, does our government know about this?
Yes, they do.
Of course they do. One of the most
Oh my God.
famous instances of this, and this is a big one, the Dulce incident. The Dulce incident occurred in Dulce, New Mexico, and it occurred when the government began building a secret base. It was underground, and they knew that the Zetas had a base there. They'd been there for like 500 or 600 years. The government did not tell the contractors this. So they're blasting, they're getting down, and suddenly this gentleman, Philip Schneider, comes across two large gray aliens. He didn't know what the hell they were. He pulled out his revolver, started firing at them. A firefight breaks out. He winds up getting hit with some weird weapon that he doesn't even know what it was, but it blew two of his fingers off, and it blew off his toenails, and like his feet were all black. He got cancer later in life, which he attributed to, being hit by this weapon. He managed to escape. He said he was saved by a Green Beret who lost his life in the firefight, and there were 66 other military personnel and scientists that also died in the fight. So it's one of the worst instances of humans versus aliens battles.
Wow.
The Battle of Los Angeles was big, but nobody really died. So I think the Dulce might actually be the biggest loss of life in an alien battle.
Wow.
So, yeah, Dulce incident. You want to look into that. And interesting facts about Philip Schneider. Philip Schneider, he was a U.S. government geologist and engineer. Obviously, he was involved in the demolition of this Dulce thing.
Obviously.
And for the final 2 years of his life, he actually toured around and gave lectures about that incident and other facts regarding UFOs and alien life forms and whatnot. And he was found dead in his apartment on January 17th, 1996, at age 49. The autopsy determined it was asphyxiation by a catheter tube. However, it was
by a say that
A catheter tube. That's not what
say
they're
that
for.
again. Say that again because
asphyxiation by catheter tube.
by catheter tube.
Yes. So he had a
that's-
catheter tube around his neck, and he had died of asphyxiation.
Wow.
It later got changed to a suicide. His urine samples were lost, so they were never actually tested for any type of sedatives or anything like that. And there was an obituary given to the newspaper that did not come from his wife that claimed that he died of a stroke, natural causes.
Damn, son.
So there's definitely some...
Sounds like a conspiracy right there for me.
well, it's absolutely a
Well,
conspiracy.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we know what minute this is.
It's the
Absolutely.
Conspiracy Minute.
Absolutely.
So the Dulce incident, Betty and Barney Hill, the Greys, look into all this stuff because the Greys are coming for you. They will abduct you. They'll take your sperm. They'll take your eggs. They'll take your children. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
No damn thing you can do about it.
They can try to come and take me. They're not taking me.
They will.
Don't challenge them. What are you
Come
doing?
and get me. Come and get me.
You're asking for it.
All right.
So, how many of them are there? Now, here's a question, I guess. Do they have faster than light travel? Like, do they actually travel here real time?
No, they
Like,
travel interdimensionally.
interdimensionally. I see.
Yes.
So that's how you do it, I guess.
Yeah, no, they don't. People always say that, well, how do they get here? It's so far away. It has to do with electromagnetism, certain spots on the Earth. It's very complicated. But they do travel they just appear. They can appear and then they can go back.
So they're not even like They don't even have to have a ship nearby. They can just come and go as they please. There could be one just shows up and this shuts down this whole Conspiracy Minute thing. We got to be careful.
I'm not sure. I don't know. They might need the ship to do this interdimensional
Oh,
thing.
I see.
I haven't been on a ship, that at least not... I mean, you don't remember if you go.
Right,
It's
you
like-
don't. So not that you can remember.
Yeah, I don't recall this. But, I mean, I've looked a lot into it. We have reverse engineered some of their technology
Oh,
in our Black Ops programs, which maybe I can get into in a different time.
yeah. No, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to hear about those totally factual, completely factual things.
Yeah, well, I mean, why else am I here?
Yeah,
For the
well,
facts.
I mean, totally. Anyway, that's it. No more of that today. We're on to...
You can't handle the truth!
We can't handle anything of that. Okay, bands off, dance off, wrap it up. Here we go. You heard the trumpets. That means it's time to make a decision.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's pretty easy. B's the clear winner. A, I put down... I mean, I was barely a quarter into the stick, and I just... My lungs got tired. I couldn't... Well, not my lungs, but... I couldn't keep pulling on it. It was just... It wasn't giving me anything.
I was in the same boat. Yeah, I gave up. I relit it a bunch of times. There's no draw, and I was done with it.
Yeah.
B was by far the winner.
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
I definitely prefer it. So, what about you, Nick?
It's gonna have to be A for me.
Whoa! Really?
A dissenter amongst the ranks.
It's gonna have to be A for me. The reason being is because I think it's made that way on purpose.
To have no draw.
Well, there is draw, but the reason, hear my reason out.
We're
Hear
hearing
me
it
out.
out.
Hear me
We're
out
listening.
now. Hear me out. The reason why I think that it's made that way is because it forces you to take your time to enjoy the flavors of the cigar. Now, I've been going back and forth, and yes, B is a lot easier. It's got some flavor. But I keep going back to A, and yes, even though it's getting me exhausted to pull the smoke from the cigar, it's
In this
it's
one?
just yeah. I just keep going back to it.
I
It's-
don't understand.
I
saying
know you
that
don't understand, but
You
it's
see
just,
it as something that
it's-
has been engineered to burn slower, to be a longer smoke.
Yeah, you guys keep lighting it. I don't have to. For me, it seems like it stays on longer. But for me, it's a cigar that it forces you to take your time with.
All right, well, I think you're a crazy person.
I think you guys think I'm a crazy person, but that is my opinion.
That is
Like I
some
said, if
flavor
A
right
has
there.
more flavor, yes, it's harder and it's tighter. But for me, there's more flavor. It forces you to take your time with it, and I'm enjoying it.
Right, that's cool. I mean, A did have decent flavor, but the construction just ruined it for me, and that was it. B, it's just a little bit better, and the construction was 1,000 times better. Like, this hasn't been canoeing on me. I haven't had to touch it up really. It's been
no,
good.
nice even burn.
Yeah, nice even burn. Good cigar.
I don't think I've had to relight it.
No, it's
As
been
much time
solid.
as I spent relighting A, it was sitting there for a while, and B never went out.
For
so.
sure. So now it's time to ask the question, buddy. What
Are we doing guesses this week? Or?
Oh, I do. You want? I don't. I can't even hazard, dude. I have literally no idea.
All right. So,
Wait, drum roll.
Oh my gosh, I do have that. Yay! Okay, here we go.
wow! Ooh-wee!
What's A? What's A?
Share it with us.
You you ready for this bombshell?
I am.
Let me see it.
You want to see it, Nick?
I wanna
I'll let
see
you
it.
do the announcement.
Let me see it. Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's a tattoo I hate.
No, it's not. What is it?
It's a tattoo I hate, but I don't.
It's a
what is-
Tat Havana.
It's a
It's a
Tat
Tat
Havana.
Havana.
It's a Havana 6 red label.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah.
A Tat Havana.
It's a
That was
Tat
A.
Havana.
Wow, that was it.
Son of a bitch.
I knew there had to be something
Damn.
about the
Pete
cigar.
Johnson dropping a bomb on us.
I knew it had to be something about the cigar that just.
Oh,
that
how
just
the mighty
brought me
have
back to it.
fallen.
Oh, that is ugly.
Sorry, Pete. Your shit
Oh
sucked.
my god! No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
2 out of 3 cold draw
Nick Flanagan
contributors thinks
loves
that
your
A suck.
cigar. Nick Flanagan loved your cigar.
I think that you have a great mustache and A sucked.
I will buy your cigars till the end of time.
Oh boy.
Give me a Fausto all day, buddy. Well, that thing was a turd.
What's the next one? What's the next one?
All right.
Here we
gonna be
go.
You guys ready for
B.
B? Hey-oh! So, I'm happy with this.
All right, what was it?
What do we got?
B, the clear winner
The clear winner.
of the BODO challenge was Kurt Kendall's 724.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? That's solid.
I'm happy with
I
that.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a good cigar. Historically, I've liked these. Then 724 is a New Hampshire.
It is, yeah, right
Thing.
out of Manchester.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Not happy with it. Sorry, guys.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not happy
Dude, are
with
you
that
kidding me?
at all.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Are you kidding me?
The Tatuaje took a dive to the 724. No.
The tattoo
No.
did take a
No.
dive to the 724.
The only reason why I took a dive because you guys had to deplug the damn thing, but no.
Yeah, we only
whatever.
We
No.
only had 2 out of 3 cigars.
Whatever.
that
No.
had to be.
No. Any other day I would have been like flat out Tatuaje.
No, here's the thing:
But
is
no.
Tatuaje
good.
is historically one of my favorite brands. I love.
They make a lot of great
a
cigars.
They
lot
do.
of their stuff.
They
so
do.
this is not a bashing of that brand. That cigar. We got 2 out of 3 of them were turds.
It didn't
That
smoke.
sucked.
It didn't burn.
It didn't burn. The flavor was decent. The cold draw had a nice sweet flavor to it. It was good. But man, you know what? I would have rather had the 724 every day of the week.
Oh, the 724 was
Yeah,
nice.
good
Sorry.
stuff. So, dear listener,
Step aside there.
go buy both of those from someone and try them out and tell us that
Absolutely.
we're stupid and crazy. That's the show, guys. Check it out. So that's it for episode 4 of the Cold Draw podcast. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I'm Bob Cooper. To my right is Matthew Healey, and across the room somewhere is Nick Flanagan.
Yeah.
Please write us an email at thecolddraw@gmail.com. This is important. Listen to this. If you have suggestions for a bands off, dance off matching, something that you want to see us compare, write us an email or write Jaime the Intern an email at jaimetheintern@gmail.com. That's JAIME theintern@gmail.com. She'll take those into consideration and maybe we can get those going on a future episode. That'd be great. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/colddraw. Mention us on Twitter on at Cold Draw Podcast, and check out our website at thecolddraw.com. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Stay smoky, my friends.
Always stay smoky.
I can't believe you guys went with the 724.
724.
I can't believe you went.
Carry on.
I can't believe you went with that thing,
Not
man.
in taste. Not in taste. Why? Because the Tatuaje was too hard for you guys to smoke?
Yeah, we don't have those muscly cheeks like you do, buddy.
Jesus.
I actually feel kind of good. I think oak is supposed to be one of the notes of the 724.
Nice.
And in my fake review, I think I got it.
Oh, nice. So you were accidentally douching. Yeah. I love that.
God.
We are not going to stop broadcasting.
Just to let you know,
Broadcasting
I
has
chewed
come to
that
stay.
all